Hey all, welcome to Parker's Reefs. On today's episode I'm going to review this Inkbird IBS-TH1 Plus, quite a mouthful, as quickly as I can. Alright, so straight out of the back guys, first thing I want to say is Inkbird did send me this smart temperature sensor and logger for the purpose of this review, so it was given to me. I'm not getting paid for the review, but I did get the product for free. I want to do this video as quickly as I can because I feel like there's a niche use case in the aquarium industry. For some people this thing could be worth its weight in gold, for others probably not all that important. So the first thing I want to do is get this timer started. I'll put it down here somewhere. Let's see how quickly we can cover this review. Alright, so once you open the box, you'll notice you get this little unit here. I'll come in nice and close so you can see it. It is just it's pretty small. You see compared to the size of my hand, and I don't have ridiculously sized hands or anything. It's a small little temperature sensor, has a display. It's got the temperature on there. It's only got one button on the unit that you can change between Celsius and Fahrenheit. One thing I did find a little interesting is when you do switch between Celsius and Fahrenheit, that the percentage of humidity changes a little bit, which has me a bit nervous, but it changes about 4%, nothing too drastic, that's okay. But for aquarium purposes, it does come with this waterproof, and it is a legitimate waterproof sensor for temperature that you can plug into the side. So literally you plug this thing into the port here, and now you can log temperatures of the sensor. Why is this important? One, it's a really easy way to get a nice visual display of what your tank's temperature is. This little unit here is magnetic. I'll show you on the tank in a second. But where the use case for this I think is really possibly cool is for logging temperatures of either tanks that you're not at. So if you're going to a customer's tank or you're going to a friend's tank and they tell you that the temperature is stable, you can leave this there, come back a couple of days later or a week later or whatever, grab the sensor, you can download the data directly to your phone and it'll show you how stable that temperature's been. The other use case where I think this could be revolutionary is in shipping very expensive livestock, be it fish or coral. I'm fairly certain you could get that probe inside the bag and still seal up the bag so it's watertight, even if you had to use like a real little cable land or something like that. That way, once the customer received it, they could download the data and see the temperature of the water throughout the entire shipment of the fish to see whether it got hot or cold. Could be pretty revolutionary. Like I said, for frexpensive fish only, you're not going to put a $50 sensor and go to the trouble of getting the probe in the bag or box for like a $20 frag of coral. For a $1,000 fish, yeah, maybe you would. Anyway, getting back to the sensor unit here. Now, one thing I will point out, this is not Wi-Fi. It does not connect via Wi-Fi and send you updates wherever you are. It is Bluetooth only. You have to be within Bluetooth range. So you can't just set this sensor in your tank and then while you're at work check in on the temperature of your tank. You can do that with the other Inkbird products, but not with this one. This one is a logger and you download the log off Bluetooth only. So that's probably where this starts to come into its little bit of a niche where I think its uses in the aquarium industry are probably a little bit limited. But the fact that it's so portable that you can just take this, carry it to a room, stick it there, it'll log the temperature, the humidity for you. You can set the intervals from 10 seconds to take the temperature and humidity every 10 seconds, minute, 3 minutes, 5 minutes. I think it goes every hour, something like that. It will log 30,000 values in here internally. So depending on how frequently you make that setting, it will depend on how many data points it will hold. Other than that, guys, let's jump into the actual app. You can have a look, see how it works. We'll go from there. Okay, here we are. The app you use for this is actually called Inkbird, not Inkbird. And you'll see once you open it up, you get straight away a representation of what the temperature and humidity is. Now, I've gone into the sensor to get the graph. You can see we're downloading all of those data points. I haven't gone into this for a couple of days, and I've been logging it at every 10 seconds. Now, one huge gripe I have with this app is that scale on the graph there is not adjustable. Apparently it used to be, but now it's not. So you go between 15 degrees and 50 degrees. Now, when you're talking aquariums, that very, very minor adjustments between like 24.5 and 24.52, the line looks almost directly straight, which is really, really annoying. There are some other glitches with the app here where it does give you some random no data and stuff like that, even though I know there is data there. However, where this is handy is when you go to export that data, which you do by clicking on the little clock up in that top right-hand corner. We'll go into that. You can actually export these data out into a CSV where you can then build whatever sort of graph you want. Or you can just view it on screen here. You can see that the data is very, very precise. We go to 2 decimal places and the temperature is taken every 10 seconds. You can export this out, you can email it, you can airdrop it depending on what device you're on. You can do all sorts of things with it. That is where the gold of this device is. Other than that, the on-screen display is handy. The graph feels like a waste with that really big scale view, but as long as you're not looking for a super quick reference there, so be it. You can set up notifications if it gets inside or outside of the range you want to. But again, remember, this is Bluetooth only, so you have to be near the device for those notifications to come through. So for my opinion, that's probably in our use case, not all that valuable. All right, there you have it. We've just ticked over 5 minutes, and that's probably all the time I want to spend on the Inkbird. What was the name of it again? The IBS-TH1 Plus. An interesting little device. I'll put a link in the description if anyone is interested in buying them. They go for about 50 bucks Australian. I feel like they have a really good use case in some very niche purposes, but for the average aquarium keeper, you're probably better off with one of their temperature controllers. Till next time, guys, hope you enjoyed the quick video. Catch you later.